Hello everyone, my name is Nazir. I am the instructor of CCNA 200-301. So today is our day 1 class. It is a first class in CCNA. The first let us understand what is network. What is network? Network means interconnection between two devices or more than two devices. For example, PC1 and PC2. If we connect these two computers each other, this is network. Just a connectivity between devices. Device means it can be PC, it can be server, it can be router, it can be switch, it can be printer, any device. It can be firewall, it can also be mobile. If we connect one device to another device, that is called network. Just a connectivity between two devices or more than two devices. Interconnection between two or more devices. This connectivity can be wired or wireless. Remember this point. Wire or wireless. Wireless best example is Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is our wireless network. Because to wireless, to Wi-Fi, we can connect the computers, we can connect laptops, we can connect mobiles, right? This is the best example for wireless network, Wi-Fi. So everyone uses nowadays in every home, right? This is just network. But what is networking? Network and networking, there is a slight difference between these two. Both are not same. Network means just only interconnectivity between devices. Networking means communication between interconnected devices. Communication between interconnected devices. If you transfer data from PC1 to PC2 or PC2 to PC1, it is called networking. But here, this is the main difference between network and networking. Network is just only interconnectivity between the devices. Networking means communication between devices. But here, if you want to communicate from PC1 to PC2, how to communicate? Communication means nothing but if you want to share some data from PC1 to PC2 or PC2 to PC1. If you want to transfer data from PC1 to PC2 or PC2 to PC1. This is the networking, right? But here what we require to communicate from PC1 to PC2 or PC2 to PC1. So what we require? I will give you an example. If you want to communicate with any person over the phone, so how can you communicate? So to communicate with anyone, we required mobile number. Same way in the computer networking, we required IP address. If you want to communicate from one computer to another computer, we required IP address. Without IP address, we cannot communicate. Just understand like that. So in the mobile networking, we have a mobile number, cell phone number. Same way, here we have a IP address. Without IP address, we cannot communicate from one device to another device in the network. So here, if you want to communicate from PC1 to PC2, we should have IP address on both computers, PC1 and PC2. The first we need to understand what is IP address. First we need to understand what is IP. IP stands for Internet Protocol. IP stands for Internet Protocol. IP stands for what? IP stands for Internet Protocol. Internet Protocol. What is protocol? Protocol means set of rules or set of instructions. Set of rules or set of instructions for communication. This is protocol. Remember, this is very, very important in interview. This is the basic question. What is protocol? Protocol is nothing but set of rules or set of instructions for communication. IP address stands for Internet Protocol. So protocol is set of rules. Okay. Next, what is the use of this IP address? IP address is used to identify the device in network. To identify the device in network. Every device in the network, we should have IP address. Every device, either it can be laptop, either it can be desktop, either it can be mobile, either it can be printer, either it can be router. Okay, any device required IP address. If you want to connect your device to network, that device must have IP address. This IP address is also known as logical address. See here, IP address is also known as logical address. Remember this point, very, very important. IP address is also known as logical address. The IP address purpose is to identify the device in network. So IP address actually required whenever you want to communicate with the other device. For example, I have one laptop. This is my personal laptop. Okay, I just purchased new laptop. So whenever you purchase new laptop, so actually we don't have any IP address. You can use your laptop without IP address. IP address will not come with the laptop. Whenever you purchase any new laptop or new desktop, IP address is not inbuilt address. So IP address is required only whenever you want to communicate from your computer to any other device. For example, internet, right? Internet means like you can access Google, you can access Facebook, you can access YouTube, right? So if you want to access these servers, Google server, Facebook server, YouTube server, the first we will connect to internet, right? Our ISP. ISP means internet service provider, like Airtel, BSNL, Act Fibernet. So the first we will take one internet connection from our ISP. Then what happen? ISP will provide the one IP address. Means whenever you take the internet connection, ISP will provide one IP address to you. That IP address is actually assigned to automatically to your computer. So then your computer can communicate these three servers: Facebook, YouTube, and any server in the internet. But if you don't want to connect internet, no need to use IP address here. You can use your laptop. So IP address is required only whenever you want to connect the internet. Remember this point. For example, I have a small office. Okay, I have a small office. So in my office, there are three computers: computer 1, computer 2, computer 3. These three computers are, I will connect these three computers through switch. So we will discuss later what is the switch. Switch is the network switch, okay? Like a hub, network switch, okay? So by using switch, we will connect these three computers like this. Okay, I have three computers. So, and also I have three employees. One employee is sitting on this in front of this computer. One employee is sitting in front of this computer. One employee is sitting in front of this computer. And these three employees doing something, right? So for example, if these three persons wants to communicate each other, for example, here some data is there, some data. So I want to transfer this data to this computer through network without any like a USB drive or any external hard drive. So I want to share data from this computer to this computer or this computer to this computer. This is my local. So here also we require IP address. This PC require one IP address. This PC one require one IP address. This PC also require one IP address. See here, this is my local, it's in my office only. Here there is no any internet connectivity. So many students think like whenever we connect to internet, then only we require IP address. Not like that. Network means either it is private network or public network. Internet is a public network, means we are connecting from our office to other company. Google is a different company, Facebook is a different company, and YouTube is a different company, right? So here we are connecting to our company to different company. This is also one kind of network. This is the like it is called internetwork. So this is our local network. See here, these three computers are within my office. So these three computers want to, if this three person wants to communicate each other, means communication means if this three person wants to exchange some data, okay, among them. So here every PC required IP address. This PC required one IP, this PC required one IP, this PC also required one IP. If you don't configure IP address here, these three machines cannot communicate each other. These three persons cannot communicate each other. These three persons cannot exchange data each other. So if you want to transfer data one computer to another computer, we require IP address. We require IP address. Here we require one IP address. Here we require IP address. Understand? So if you have two computers within your home, within your office, that is called local network. And if you want to transfer data from your computer to any somewhere else like Google Drive, Google Drive is a different company, right? So we are communicating through internet. That is a public network. So whatever it may be, if you want to communicate from one computer to another computer, either it is local or non-local, okay? So we require IP address, right? Understand? So what is the purpose of the IP address? Without IP address, we cannot communicate. So next, but how to configure this IP address? So here, to configure IP address in system, we have two methods. One is static method, second one is dynamic method. Static and dynamic method. Static means manual. Static means manual. Dynamic means automatic. Dynamic means what? Automatic. We can assign IP address either in manual method or in automatic method. Manual method means assigned by administrator or assigned by user. Dynamic method means assigned by server. Means your system will get IP address automatically. We will discuss what is automatic method. Okay, the first to understand here manual method. So the manual method is always assigned by administrator or user. For example, here we have three computers. So here this PC require one IP address, this PC require one IP address, this PC require one IP address. So here we have only three computers, right? We can assign IP address on every system individually. There is no any issue. For example, like this is 10.0.0.1 IP. This is 10.0.0.2 IP. This is 10.0.0.3 IP, like that. This is manual. But dynamic means what? For example, if you have more computers, if you have 100 computers or 200 computers or 300 computers in your network, we cannot configure IP address on every individual system, right? It takes a lot of time. So this is the problem. Whenever you have more systems, then we will use automatic method. Automatic method means we require one server. We required one server. The server name is DHCP. DHCP, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. This is the server. If we have a server, we can get the IP address. For example, generally see here. For example, in our network also, in our home also, regularly we are seeing, right? I have a one Wi-Fi router. we will connect generally, right, laptops or mobiles. But actually, we don't configure any IP address to mobile and laptop, right? But how these systems will get the IP address? So we will connect mobile wirelessly, not a wired, right? And we will connect this laptop wirelessly. But whenever you connect here, actually what happened? This Wi-Fi router will automatically provide IP address to this device. Because of in a Wi-Fi router by default, we have a DHCP service. DHCP is the one service. This service is already inbuilt on the Wi-Fi router, every Wi-Fi router. That's why we don't need to configure IP address on every device. Whenever you connect to Wi-Fi, it will automatically happens. Your system will automatically gets IP address from the Wi-Fi router. In the Wi-Fi router, we have a service is called what? We have a service that is called what? DHCP, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. Remember this point. Same way in organizations also, in the enterprise network, in companies we can have more than can have more systems, right? Like 100 systems, like 200 systems, like 300 systems, and 400 systems, and 500 systems, right? But how to assign IP address for all these computers? We can't do it manually, right? So company, we have a one DHCP server. This is the server. Actually, the server is managed by system administrator. So in the DHCP server, we have some IPs. So the server will give the IP address to every computer. This is called automatic method. This is called dynamic. Dynamic means automatic. Right? Now this is the difference between static IP and the dynamic IP. Static IP means manual IP. Dynamic IP means automatic IP assigned by system server, DHCP server. But my question is here, what is the main difference between these two, static IP and dynamic IP? Static IP is manual. Manual means here, if you assign IP address once, it is permanent until you change. Dynamic IP is not permanent. Dynamic IP is what? Not permanent IP. Remember this point, first point. Static IP. Static IP is permanent IP. If we configure once, that will remain permanently until you change. If we change, again it will change. Otherwise, it will not change automatically. Dynamic IP means it is not permanent IP. Dynamic IP keep on changing for every 1 hour, every 2 hours, every 3 hours, every 4 hours. Like that depends on DHCP server. Because DHCP server gives the IP address, right? For example, see, here I have some computers, computer 1, computer 2, computer 3, computer 4. Along with these 4 computers, I have a one server. This is DHCP server. In DHCP server, there are some IPs, okay? We will give some range. We will need to give some range here, 192.168.1.12, 192.168.1.100. This is the IP. This is the IP address format. We will discuss later, okay, what is format and what is the range, just to only understand here. So these are the IPs. So here we have 192.168.1.12, 192.168.1.100. Right? So actually what happened here, this server will provide IP address from this range. So for this computer, server will give 192.168.1.1, and for this computer server may give to 1.2, for this system 1.3, for like this. For every system will get the IP address from the DHCP server. This is the dynamic IP. But here actually what happened, whenever this DHCP server gives IP address to these computers, server gives IP in lease period. Lease period means like lease period means like it will give 1 hour or 2 hours or like 3 hours. It will not give permanently. For example, here this is the system 1. System 1 received IP address from server 192.1.1.1. It has some validity. This validity may be 1 hour or 2 hours or 3 hours. I will show you in my computer how to check this validity of IP address. Now see here, to check this, first go to command prompt here. In the run, here type cmd, and here command is ipconfig space /all. This is command. Okay, ipconfig space /all, enter. Now IP address 192.168.0.4. This is my IP. And the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. And here see lease obtained and lease expired. Lease obtained and lease expired. If we see these two options, we can understand it is dynamic IP. Means this IP address got from DHCP server. Here see lease obtained. The date is here 8th July 2026, 1844. And the lease expiry is 8th July 2026, 22, means 1052. So here it's nearly 4 hours, 18 to 22. So after 4 hours, this IP address might be changed. This is dynamic IP. If we configure IP address manually, we won't see these two options. We won't see these two options. This is difference between static IP and dynamic IP. The static IP, once if you assign static IP, that is permanent until you change. Dynamic IP is keep on changing. Remember this point. That is depends on DHCP server. Some DHCP servers gives only 1 hour validity, and some DHCP servers give 2 hours also, 3 hours, like that. Depends on DHCP server. Okay. And static IP, where we prefer static IPs and where we prefer dynamic IPs? That is the next question. Okay, we have two methods, static IP and dynamic IP. But when to use static IP and when to use dynamic IP? Static IP is always configured on servers. Remember this point. For the servers, we always configure static IP and gateways also. Dynamic IP is always used in end user systems, normal employee systems in organization. Okay, very important. Remember, static IPs are always assigned on servers. Not only servers, where we don't want to change IP address periodically, so there we will configure static IP. So normal employees, right? Employee like users, employees. For employees system, we will use dynamic IP. For example, I have 100 employees in my company. I have a one DHCP server, and also I have some server 1, server 2, like that. So this is the server, this is the DHCP server, right? Here we have some IPs in the DHCP. We in 192.168.1.1 to 192.168.1.100. This DHCP server provide IP address to these all computers, but servers we will configure manual IP. Same network we will use same, but like a manual IP. Understand? This is the difference between static IP and dynamic IP. So the static IPs are always assigned on servers. Dynamic IPs are always assigned on end users. End user means employees. Remember this point. This is about static IP and dynamic IP. This is about static IP and dynamic IP. Very, very important here. Please remember, any device, if you want to configure IP address on device, we always have two methods. One is the static method, second one is the dynamic method. Static method, another one is what? Dynamic method. Static method is manual method, dynamic is automatic. Automatic means we will get the IP address from DHCP server. We will learn more about DHCP in upcoming classes. Not here, in upcoming classes we will discuss more about DHCP server. Next, in IP address, we have two versions, IPv4 and IPv6. Remember this point. In IP address, we have two versions, IPv4 and IPv6. IPv4 and IPv6. IPv4 stands for Internet Protocol version 4. IPv6 stands for Internet Protocol version 6. Internet Protocol version 4 and Internet Protocol version 6. We can use any version. Nowadays we are using both versions, but still most of the companies using IPv4. IPv4. Now here, the first we will discuss about what is the difference between IPv4 and IPv6. This is also very, very important in the interview. This is a fundamental question in the interview. The main difference between IPv4 and IPv6, the first difference is IPv4 is a decimal number. First understand this one, decimal number. IPv6 is hexadecimal number. The first understand what is decimal number and what is hexadecimal number. Decimal number means only numbers. It includes only numbers like 1 to number also we have only, you can see only 1 to 255 only. Okay, only we have numbers only. See here, just now we saw IP address right in my computer. See, I will show you one more time. This is IP address, IPv4 address 192.168.0.4. This is IPv4 address. So here we have only numbers. But if you see IPv6, I will also show you IPv6 here. This is IPv6 address. See, link local IPv6 address. Here we have FE80. FE80 means it includes numbers and alphabet. If we have numbers and alphabet in IP address, that is IPv6 address. If we have only numbers, that is IPv4. Please remember, okay, please understand the main difference between these two. IPv4 is decimal number, IPv6 is hexadecimal number. Decimal number means it includes only numbers. Hexadecimal number means it includes numbers and alphabet. This is the first difference. The second difference is IPv4 is a 32-bit address and IPv6 is 128-bit address. IPv4 is 32-bit address and IPv6 is 128-bit address. The first we need to understand here, what is a bit? Bit is 0 or 1. 0 or 1. It is computer language. If you come from mathematical background, you can understand this. But some students coming from non-technical background, right? So please understand here. So bit is nothing but computer language. So computer language means machine language. It is known as binary language. Binary language. This is the computer language, machine language. Computers understands anything in only zeros and ones, zeros and ones. So here IPv4 is a 32-bit address. 32-bit means what? Just now we saw, right, IP address. So what is my system IP? My system IP is 192.168.0.4. This is decimal number. This is not a binary number. Decimal number only for human understanding purpose, not system understanding purpose. But actually what happened here, whenever we configure IP address on system will automatically convert this decimal number into binary number. Remember this point. Binary format. Simply system converts decimal number into binary format. System will automatically does in the back end. But we will always configure IP address on decimal format. We won't configure IP address in binary format. Because we can't remember these binary numbers, right? 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, like that. That's why we always follow decimal number. But system will convert into binary number, binary format. Now I will explain how to convert decimal into binary. But you should understand this, but it is not important, okay? Now I will show you how to convert decimal into binary. Okay, it's very simple. For example, what is IP? IP is 192.168.0.4, right? So here to convert it, like 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. These are numbers. So right side to left side, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 120, up to 128 only, okay? Right? So now, so here what is the first number? 192, right? This is my first number in IP address. The first we will convert this number, okay, in the binary, into binary. So 192 means here, see here, if we add some numbers, if you plus some numbers, you will get 192. What are those numbers? See here, 128 plus 64 equal to 192. So these two become 1, 1. Remaining will become zeros. Right? 192 means what? If you plus 128 plus 64 equal to 192. So 128 become 1. 64 is also become 1. Remaining are zeros. Next, what is value? Second value is 168. Convert this 168. So here what numbers we need to add? So 128 plus 32. 160 plus 8. If we add these three, 128, 32, 8, you will get 168. So these three will become ones, remaining will become zeros. Next what? 0. 0 means what? 0 means all zeros. Next 4. 4 means 4. 4 means here 1, right? 0, 0. Okay. See here. 192 equal to 8 bits. 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Total how many bits are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 192 equal to 8 bits. 168 equal to 8 bits. 0 equal to 8 bits. 4 equal to 8 bits. Total 32 bit address. So IPv4 is a 32 bit address. This is the meaning. IPv4 is a 32 bit address. So here, see IP address 192.168.0.4. Here we have a 4 numbers. 192.168.0.4. This is the one number, this is the one number, this is the one number, this is the one number. Each number equal to 8 bits in the binary. 192 equals 8 bits. 168 equal 8 bits. 0 equal 8 bits. 4 equal 8 bits. So system maintain this IP address like this in computer internally. Remember this. Very, very important. Please understand this conversion. Decimal into binary conversion. Very, very important. Because this conversion will help you in next class. So IPv4 address is a 32-bit address. 32-bit address means 32 bits means ones are zeros, ones are zeros. So generally we configure IP address on system in decimal format, but system internally converts into binary language. So this is the binary language. Ones are zeros, ones are zeros. But actually we don't do this conversion. System will automatically convert internally, but you should have idea how to convert decimal into binary. If we understand this conversion, we can easily understand our next class. Very, very important. So IPv4 is a 32-bit address. 32-bit address means this. So IPv4 is a decimal number. Decimal number means what? Like only numbers. What is the number range? See here, number range is also there. 0 to 255 only. Any portion. See here, we have IP address. There are 4 portions, right? 192, 168, 0, like this, right? This is the one portion. 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 So every range 0 to 255 only, like this only. Here also 0 to 255 only. 0 to 255 only. Range. We want see 256. Max is 255 only. See here. Why we have written here up to 128? 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. If we add these all numbers, 128 plus 64 plus 32 plus 16 plus 8 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1, how much we will get? We will get 255. 255 means what? 0 to 255 means what? 256, right? Total. Understand? See, the IPv4 address range is only 0 to 255. That's why here we have written only 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 164, 120. That's it. 8 bits here. See, this is the 1. See, this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Each portion, it is called portion. 192 equal to 1 portion. 168 equal to 1 portion. 0 equal to 1 portion. 14 equal to 1 portion. Each portion in the binary 8 bits. It is 8. It is 8. It is 8. It is 8. Now we will understand what is a bit and what is a byte. That is also very, very important here. Very, very important. 8 bits. 8 bits equal 32. Sorry, 8 bits equal 1 byte or 1 octet. 8 bits equal to 1 byte or 1 octet. So in IPv4, how many bits are there? Total 32 bits. 32 bits means how many bytes? 4 bytes or 4 octets. 4 bytes or 4 octets. Remember this point. 4 bytes or 4 octets, or you can also say 32 bits. So each number in IP address 192.168.0.14, or you can also take like this also 10, 0, 10, 20. This is the IP address format. Each portion This is the one portion. 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 Total 4 portions. Each portion equal to 8 bits. 8 bits. 8 bits. 8 bits. In the binary, total 32-bit address. Very, very important. So later we will discuss about IPv6. Okay, don't think about IPv6. Just understand first IPv4. IPv4 is very easy to understand. If you understand perfectly IPv4, then we can understand IPv6 easily. Because IPv6 is hexadecimal number and it is 128-bit address. It is very lengthy address. We can't understand easily because it is a first class, right? So next we discuss about IPv4 address range. In IPv4, the range is 0 to 255. What is the range? 0 to 255. IPv4 address range is 0 to 255. That is the max range. Later what happened? This IPv6 address range is divided into 5 classes. See here. IPv4 address range is divided into 5 classes. Okay. IPv4 address range is 0 to 255. 0 to 255 is complete range. Remember this point. 0 to 255. This range is divided into 5 classes. This range is divided into 5 classes. Class A, Class B, Class C, Class D, and Class E. Class A range is 0 to 127. Class B range is 128 to 191. Class C range is 192 to 223. Class D range is 224 to 239. Class E range is 240 to 255. This is brief. But if you want understand clearly, if you want complete range, this is the range. Class A is 0.0.0.02, 127.255.255.255. Class B range is 128.0.0.02, 191.255.255.255. Class C range is 192.0.0.02, 223.255.255.255. Class D 224.0.0.02, 239.255.255.255. Class E range is 240.0.0.02, 255.255.255.255. These ranges are fixed. We cannot customize these ranges. We cannot increase, we cannot decrease these ranges. Class A is always 0 to 127. Class B is always 128 to 191. Class C is 192 to 223. Class D is 224 to 239. Class E is 240 to 255. Remember, these ranges very, very important in interview. Very, very important. So, but here, where we use these classes, where we prefer these classes, generally where we use these IP classes, IP address classes. Class A, Class B, Class C, IPs are used in LAN and WAN, local area network and wide area network. Local area means within the office or within the building. Wide area means one branch to another branch. Between, like it can be within the city, or it can be within the state, it can be within the country, or within the world, from wide, from anywhere to anywhere. So best example is internet. Internet is the WAN, right? Wide area network. For example, you have two branches, one branch in Hyderabad, one branch in the US. This is also known as WAN. Or for example, you have within the, like metropolitan city, like for example here we have Hyderabad and we have Secunderabad. Just here we have only between these two we have only 10 kilometers, right? It is metropolitan city. It is also known as WAN, but actually technically here we have different terms actually. LAN, MAN, CAN, and WAN, and also we have PAN. Just only these are the terminology. LAN means local area network within the office, within the building, same building. MAN means metropolitan area network. Metropolitan means between the two cities. Just if we have a distance between these two cities, like 10 kilometers or 15 kilometers, based on the distance, okay, differentiate like this: LAN, MAN, CAN. CAN means campus area, just only between 2 kilometer distance, like that. And the WAN means there is no any limitation. PAN means what? Personal area network, like Wi-Fi, limited area. These are just names only. Okay, don't think about this. We have only LAN and WAN only. Everything we will consider only LAN and WAN only. Campus is just only terminology. So we use only class A, class B, class C. Either it is LAN, or either it is MAN, either it is CAN, either it is WAN, either it is PAN. We use class A, class B, class C IPs. Next, class D IPs. Class D IPs are used in multicasting. Multicasting. What is multicasting? Multicasting. Now we will discuss what is multicasting. Okay. So we have three types of communications in IPv4. We have three types of communication methods. Okay. The first one is unicast method. Sorry, unicast communication. Second one is broadcast communication. The third one is multicast communication. Remember, these three communications are very, very important in our upcoming classes. Very, very important. Unicast communication, broadcast communication, and multicast communication. Unicast communication means one-to-one communication. One-to-one communication. One-to-one means one sender, one receiver. Just communication between two persons. Simply say, just communication between two persons. One sender, one receiver. Broadcast means one to all. One to all means one sender, all are receivers. For example, if you have 100 systems, one system can send data to remaining 99 computers. That is broadcast communication. I will give general example, like announcements in railway stations, announcements in airports, and in bus stations also. Announcement is broadcast communication. Next one, multicasting. What is multicast? Multicasting means one to group communication. One to group or group to group communication. Or many to many communication. Example, video conference, voice conference. So class D IPs are reserved for multicasting. So mostly we will use these IPs in voice communication and video communication. So here Class D IPs are multicasting IPs, and Class A, Class B, Class C IPs are unicast IPs. Remember this point. Unicast IPs. These three IPs are unicast IPs. Class A, Class B, Class C IPs are unicast IPs. Class D IPs are multicast IPs. But what are the broadcast IPs? Broadcast IPs we will discuss later. In every network we have a broadcast IPs. Later we will discuss what are the broadcast IPs. Next, okay. Class E. Class E IPs are reserved for research and development. Research and development. Research and development. What is research and development? Research and development means, so the companies which are developing networking, those companies will use these IPs for testing purpose, like IANA, Internet Assigned Number Authority. If this company engineers wants to develop anything, they will use these IPs as testing purpose. So this is IPv4 addresses. So IPv4 address range is 0 to 255, and that range is divided into 5 classes. Class A, Class B, Class C. Class A, Class B, Class C IPs are unicast IPs. Remember this point. And Class D IPs are multicast IPs, and Class E IPs are used in research and development. Don't think about Class E. We don't use Class E. We will use Class A, Class B, Class C only. We won't discuss about Class D also. Class D is a little advanced technology. Okay. In our course, we never use Class D. Okay. Right. So we will only use Class A, Class B, Class C. Class A, Class B, Class C IPs are unicast IPs. Class A range is 0 to 127. Class B range is 128 to 191. Class C range is 224 to 223. 192 to 223. These ranges are fixed. We cannot increase, we cannot decrease these ranges. It is very, very important to remember for interview. And here we need to remember these communications: unicast communication, broadcast communication, and multicast communication. Unicast communication is one-to-one communication. Broadcast communication, one-to-all communication. Multicast communication, one-to-group communication. So in next session, we will discuss about subnet mask and the number of host bits and network bits. In next session, we will discuss. Okay.